chicken. Ay, 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 ay.
Hello and welcome back to another Lightning Collection review. Before I get started, I just want to apologise for my poor lighting. I'm having to wait till the evenings because of some family stuff we've got going on at home, so I can't be doing these during the day. So today I'm going to be looking at the Mighty Morphin Tenga Warriors 2-pack.
You call yourself Tenga Warriors, well, I Tenga Turkey.
From the Power Rangers Lightning Collection by Hasbro. This was released last week in the UK and I've just managed to get my hands on a set of these. As usual, I have had a look in the box just to make sure everything's okay and no surprises along the way. So this is an empty box, but we will have a look at it anyway. So starting at the front, we have got this nice little digital artwork in the top corner, which actually looks really cool. I really like that. We've got our Power Rangers Lightning Collection logo at the top, telling us that we've got Mighty Morphin Tenga Warriors with some warning bits by Hasbro, and then a little 3D render of our figures at the front there, looking pretty cool. On one side, we do have our Mighty Morphin Power Rangers logo, along with the digital artwork of the Tenga Warriors. On the other side, again, it's Mighty Morphin Power Rangers with the Mighty Morphin Tenga Warriors, and no heads at the bottom this time. And at the back, it just shows us what we're getting in the box. So it's got our 3D renders of the figures with Mighty Morphin Tenga Warriors, all our legal stuff at the bottom of the box. And then at the top, it's just showing us our two different Tenga Warriors that we're getting, along with two different sets of wings, an extra pair of hands, and a lightning effect piece. These are a 6.75 inch figure, and they do not come with the eggs like we saw in the previous release. So looking at the figures out of the box, they do come in a thicker paper bag this time, so I'm going to guess that it's just because it's a heavier figure. As you can see, they're both coloured differently, so they have different face and hands and different coloured feathers and armour on there. Taking a look at the first one, we can see that he has nice green along with the purple paintwork. Nice purple armour with a bit more of a silverish paint on that. They do come with battle scars along the armour, which looks pretty cool, so you can see it on different parts of the armour of the bird. And some nice silver on the end of the beak. Looking at the second one, he's obviously got more of a blue theme going on here. So the inside of his mouth is blue, he's got the gold on the end of his blue beak, he's got blue highlights in his feather and his hair, and more of a blue armour, which is the same as the other, and it is painted with some gold effects throughout. So looking at the accessories, they each come with their own coloured versions. So as you can see with the fists here, we get two fists in this colour, two fists in this colour. So obviously they go with him and they go with him. So they each come with a pair of fists, a lightning effect piece that we've seen on the previous one, but again, as I said, no egg. They each come with their coloured versions of a short feather, the short feather, and that's the front piece. Longer feathers, and this is the back piece. And lastly, the longer front piece. So looking at the accessories for the wings, we can just match these up easily enough. So you can see that there's a groove in there, and it tells you whether it's left or right or whatever in there. So it literally just slides in like so. And then obviously you can see that this colour on the wing is matching the rest of the figure. You can mix and match if you wish. And then our bottom one does exactly the same. So the grooves are slightly different in each arm. So in that one, you can see the groove in the middle, which is this one. Obviously just slides straight in. And there's our fully extended set of wings. And there he is, fully equipped with both set of extended wings. So you can't really get these mixed up as long as you've got the first two in place. And the back two can only go in certain arms, so this one has to go in that arm because the groove is in the middle, and then this one, it's on the end, so there's no way that you'd be able to mix them up. And then looking at the shorter wings, again, it's exactly the same. So we're looking for the middle groove, which is here, and then the right wing piece, which has the middle groove there. It might be a bit difficult to see if it's not focusing in, but you can kind of see it there. And as I explained, it just slides straight in like so. And then we find our matching grooved piece to go in there, which is for the left. And then we have got our shorter wings on the figure. And there they both are, both with their sets of wings put in, little lightning effect piece that you can do whatever you like with there. So looking at some articulation on this figure, I'm going to use this one because the bigger wings are obviously most restrictive, so it just makes sense to use them. And bear in mind, both figures are exactly the same but painted differently. So obviously we've got some articulation on the head, but not a whole lot. It moves up and down ever so slightly, but obviously this neck piece is hindering a lot of the movement here. So he can move to about there before he starts to rub, and then that's about his limit on that side. And then it's just about the same there. So you can sort of still get a shoulder look, which is fine with me. In reality, his head's not going to go around that far. We've got some articulation in the beak, which is the same as the single release that we've seen already. So that does open and close. This does turn around, so I should imagine if you pop the head off, you'll be able to take that off. Not that I would do that, but it can be done. Here's got some butterfly joints in there. His arm does rotate all the way around, depending on what set of wings you have, which is obviously hindering the figure. So you can go about that sort of, which is nearly a full 360, very, very close. We've got a bicep swivel at the top and a single jointed elbow, which is pinned. So again, this is exactly the same mold that we have seen already. And then he has got some articulation in his hand, so it does rotate fully. My one doesn't move up and down very much, just because the feathers on the end are obviously hindering that movement from going any further than that. He is on a ball joint in the middle, and he does have some ab crunch. Obviously there we can see the gap, which if you just push this back up, it does sort of close it up a bit. So you can move that around. It feels like it's glued on the back rather than the front, so you can just push it up a little bit. There's no drop down hips on this figure, so his leg moves up that far and back that far. We've got some upper thigh swivel. He does have double jointed knees, which again are pinned, and we've got some movement in the foot, which does go up and down and is on a rocker. Moving on to some comparisons. So here we've got him with a normal sort of sized ranger, so we've got Billy in his ninja form. Obviously you can see that they're huge compared to him. I don't believe that they were supposed to have been at that scale on the show, but they do look cool and they scale well with the monsters anyway. Here they are with Catherine, so you can see that they're about twice the size of her. She's looking very, very small compared to them. So without a metallic armor, I don't think she's got much of a chance against those. And finally, there they are with the single release Tenga. I still prefer the single release of this, and the colour of the purple against the green on the feathers and stuff just looks really nice to me. Obviously you can see that it is the same mould, everything that you're getting is exactly the same, and you are literally just getting a repaint. So moving on to my final thoughts on this figure. You definitely know what to expect when you get these figures, because they are bang on exactly the same as the single release, other than the paintwork of course. Hasbro didn't ever say where they got the idea from this paintwork. It is a nice extra if you're going to build those armies, but if you're going to do that, I would definitely wait to go on sale for this. In my opinion, I'm not naive enough to not think that Hasbro is of course a company that are trying to make money, they're a business, and to reuse this mold just makes sense. In the same way that they've used the Phantom Ranger for the Invisible Phantom Ranger. The price of these are probably what you'd expect from a 2-pack anyway, so I don't think that they're overly expensive. It's just we're all used to seeing how cheap the Tengas have been on sale for. I mean, I've seen them around for around about £10, probably less than that. I know on the second-hand market they're going for a lot less than that, or they're struggling to sell, and there's plenty of places that have still got them in stock. I'm not bothered that they didn't come with the egg, because I hated the egg anyway, and trying to keep it in their hand with that tiny hole was really, really annoying for me. So the egg doesn't bother me that it doesn't come with it. I would definitely wait for these to go on sale. I wouldn't recommend too much of paying full price for these. I was happy to pick these up because I didn't go mad buying loads of single release Tengas like a lot of people. The figure itself feels very, very solid. There's no articulation problems. Doesn't seem to be any quality control problems with these, and you definitely feel like you're paying for a little bit more quality because of how thick and heavy the figures are. Other than that, they do look great and they will look lovely on my little display. But that's about it from these Tenga birds. So thank you very much for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like. If you want to see more, please consider subscribing. I've got more coming this week with the Blue Centurion and the Street Fighter crossover Ken figure. So the reviews for those will be going out this week too. Again, I hope you've enjoyed this video and thank you for watching.